Yeah, so I guess I'd like to find out what you mean by exploited, because there's a lot of different like definitions you could use.
Well, so I'm gonna assume like the thing, sort of. I can't relate per se myself, but this the saying that an employer makes money off their employers, therefore they're exploited.
Okay, yeah, so you just gave the example of someone making money off another person's efforts. Like, what? Why would you not say that is exploitment?
Well, because I don't really see it that way. There is an exchange between two people. One is offering, the labor or service, and the other is paying for that. Fairly, and they agree to it, and then from that labor or service, that person gets some benefit. Obviously, he gets some benefit. The employee gets some benefit, and everyone walks away happy. So I don't consider that exploited.
Yeah, so I would say whether or not you agree to it or not doesn't change whether or not it's exploiting. At the end of the day, the boss is still getting some sort of a reward based on your effort.
Okay, and the boss is
So
paying you some sort of reward based on your effort as well.
yeah, but that is not equal to the work that you put in.
Well, can you
So
explain the equal part?
oh, well, that's basically how businesses work. If they like hired someone and it didn't get them any profit to hire that person, then they wouldn't hire that person.
Right, but it's also the way that employees work. If they didn't get a profit to themselves of working for someone, then they wouldn't be working for someone.
Yeah, they get a profit, but they don't get a profit equal to the work that they put in. So the boss would end up getting a profit based on your work.
So you're saying the boss of the employer isn't paying for the full value
Yes.
of the labor. Okay, so let's take it a step further down the line, and let's say the employee made, or the employee or other employees plus some machines made a product. The product was put on a shelf in some shop, and the price for the product was 50. Let's say it was a mobile phone, for argument's sake. Let's say it was actually not 50. Let's say it was 400. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you bought this phone for 400 US, sorry, not US, Australian dollars. Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
But the value of the phone to you is $2,000. $2,000. You use the phone every day. It's a really important part of your life. You call people in emergency. You play games on it. So the numerical value to you is 2,000, but you only paid 400. So why are you exploiting the company?
This is a completely different kind of topic.
No, it's exactly the same, because, and I'll explain why. You're saying that the boss doesn't pay full value for the worker, and I'm saying you're not paying full value for the products of the company for that the bosses sell.
No, because what? Yeah, no, because the value of it doesn't change based on what your feelings are about it.
Well, how? But it's not your feelings about it. It's how much you use it. So, for example, if a phone was actually priced at 2,000, you would still buy it.
Okay,
Okay.
so what you're saying is that a phone, if you buy it at $400, has the exact same value as one that you would buy at $2,000.
Yes, it has the value to you for
Yeah, I'm
for
saying
two
it
thousand
doesn't
dollars.
matter what you value it as. The value is a fixed price, $400.
The price is a fixed price. The value is not. Is depends on you.
Yeah, so you would move the yeah. So as I said before, you would move this back to the work argument. It doesn't matter if you enjoy work a lot. The boss is still getting some sort
No,
of value out of your labor.
It's not subjective feelings. I'll explain again. It's, you would still buy the phone for under $2,000. So even if it was like $1 under 2,000, it's still worthwhile for you to buy the phone because you need it for certain things. It makes your life very convenient. You can work on it. You can call the value to you. You're willing to pay up to 2,000. You won't pay 2,001 because then it's above. Then it doesn't have enough value for you. But you're willing to part with your money for under $2,000. Now, if you're saying that the full value of the phone is 2,000, or I'm saying, sorry, that the full value of the phone is 2,000, but you're only buying it for 400, then you are, by the same mechanism, exploiting the boss.
Okay,
You're
so
not paying the full price for it.
Okay, so what do you mean by value?
How much you value the phone, how much it contributes to your life, how much it saves you certain things, how much money you're willing to part to buy that phone.
Okay, so is this not just completely irrelevant when talking about workers?
Why?
Because in a worker-boss relationship, you have one person paying the other to do some work. In this example, you have someone buying a product. It is a one-person scenario, whereas workers are a two-person.
Well, no. If there's someone in the counter selling you the product, then it's a two-person. In the same. Okay, so let's say
no, because they don't get the money from that purchase. They are paid by their employer. They aren't paid from the money that you buy the phone with.
Well, they eventually. What do you mean? Of course, they eventually do get paid from the money. Sorry, how does the boss pay the employer if someone doesn't buy that phone? How does the boss pay the employee if someone doesn't buy the products that they sell?
So if I go to the shop and I buy a phone, I am not giving the the clerk there. I am not giving them the money. I'm not giving them their paycheck.
So you and a collection of other people that buy these phones do eventually, that money does get to that clerk and the employee. Otherwise, the boss, if you don't purchase the products from the company, the boss won't have the money to pay the employees.
Okay, so your argument here would be like saying that the boss doesn't actually pay the workers, the customers do. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, the money has to come from somewhere. I mean, you could say, right? You could say that the boss found some upfront capital and they absorb a period of time on their own risk before the money from the customer starts coming in. Like they project that if they buy a warehouse, if they buy a factory, then at some point they'll earn that money back. But in any way, at some point in the future, someone has to buy the products or service of that company. Otherwise, they'll go out of business.
Yeah, so you're thinking it's one process. It's actually two. It doesn't go customer to the boss to the worker. It goes customer to the boss. That's it, and then there is a separate thing with the boss to the worker.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what you're making a distinction about, but in general, if people don't buy stuff from the company can't afford to pay its employees.
Yeah, so when a customer goes and buys something, they aren't giving money to the worker, they're giving it to the business. The business then can decide to hire someone if they want. So it is two separate processes, not one.
Well, I mean, for argument's sake, I'll agree, but where is it going?
That's just my point. Like, you aren't exploiting the person on the cash register by not paying the full value of the phone.
Right, you're exploiting. I'm not using the word exploiting. I'm not serious about it when I use it. But in your example, you're exploiting the company because they're selling a phone that you're happy to pay for $2,000, but you're not paying. They're selling for 400, and you're giving them 400, and you're receiving $2,000 worth of value, and you're exploiting them.
Yeah, you would be exploiting it. Yes.